I have a surprise for you.
What?
Crackle, come on in.
No way. Crackle's here? Oh my
Come here, buddy.
God. Crackle. I'm
You can tell me what you are.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
Wow.
Would you like a coffee?
I actually brought some beer. Is this good for sound? All right. This is wild. Dun 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 dun. Can I open a beer? Oh, you can't hear me? Got hair in my mouth. Dun 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 dun.
You can crack a cold one if you want.
Yeah, I think I will. Hell yeah, cheers. I'm not trying to drink all three of these tall boys. I thought you'd have one. I didn't realize. My bad.
So you brought me a tall boy?
Of course.
Now, Blake. Blake?
That's my name, yeah.
Blake, is it a tall boy because that's a large can? Because I've heard the expression tall boy just for beers in general.
No, like a tall can, tall boy.
Tall boy.
Yeah.
So if I'm at the bar, and I don't really drink, so I don't know the jargon.
Good for you.
So let's say I'm going to the bar. Quarantine, COVID's over.
Thank God.
Yeah, how are you, by the way? Oh, geez. So I go to the bar, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm doing my thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? I see a couple of honeys, and,
Hello.
Yeah. But you don't say hi right away, right?
No.
What do you do? You see honeys, what do you do first?
You make eyes.
Right. Let them know that you know.
Yeah, we see each other.
Could you do it? Let's pretend here. You sit down at the bar, and I'm a honey.
Sure. Well, normally, we wouldn't be facing each other at the bar, right? It'd kind of be like,
Right, I'm looking this way.
kind of be like, There we go. Okay. Well, you see, you already.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That was too obvious.
So what happens when you see a girl make that face where they're like into it? What do you do? How do you handle that?
I hope she approaches me.
Because at that point, you feel like it's in the bag.
No, I don't have game.
So that's why you hope she approaches you.
Yes.
So even if she didn't do that, you would hope that she approaches you.
Yes, I'm a big I hope you approach me guy.
Okay, so while you're waiting for her to approach,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to say, hey, what do you say, barkeep? What is it?
Yeah, I would love to say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Barkeep.
yeah.
Oh, hey, barkeep.
What up, brother?
Hey, I'm just waiting for some of my boys to get here.
Yeah.
Celebrating my buddies. Just got the big promotion.
Ooh, congrats, man. That's
Well,
great news.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
What can we get you?
I normally drink Jägermeister.
Of course you do. You look like a Jaeger man.
Thanks. Or is that? I have a weird thing. Thank you. I want to start just taking more things as compliments.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, a Jaeger man's a good what?
Smoke show over here.
Yeah, and hey, she's making eyes at you.
I hope she approaches me.
I hope so too.
Well, in the meantime, let me get a tall boy. While I'm waiting for this tall girl.
Hey, you're in luck. Not a lot of bars carry tall boys, but we do. Yeah.
Well, if I were to get it from the tap, could it just be a tall? If it was in a tall glass, could it still be a tall boy?
That's
Tall
not
boys
really
are cans.
that's the lingo.
Right.
Yeah.
A can-do attitude.
Can-do attitude, absolutely.
Do you think? Let me talk to Blake now for a
Absolutely.
second.
Even though you probably should have sent the girl like a side salad or something.
Oh, we'll come right back after a word from our sponsors. If you're looking for just the right flooring, you need choices. And at Marshall Carpet One, you'll certainly find them.
And we're back.
Can we get a couple of sides? Oh, can we get a couple of side salads? Or I should probably get one for her friend too, right?
Oh, side salads all around. You got it, buddy.
Do you think there's something patronizing in assuming that a beautiful woman, which by the way, I think you could agree, all women are beautiful.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, all humans, I guess, are inherently beautiful
Exactly.
and ugly in a way. Sure.
Well, you can't have a rainy day without ugly
Sunshine.
people or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Rainbows.
Do you think get women a side salad? And is there something to? Does a girl order a tall girl or is it a tall boy? Speak on that.
I haven't heard the term tall girl, but actually, I kind of like it better now that you mention it. I would be super down to drink a tall girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
A big lady.
yeah.
Let me get a big lady.
Blake, it's good to have you back.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, that's right. I have done a podcast with you before, unairing.
That was a different podcast.
It was, but still doesn't take away from the fact that we did one and you didn't release it.
You know, there's been maybe 4 podcasts I've recorded that I haven't released. And 2 of them, one is yours and one is Durr's.
What's up with that?
Durr's with some technical difficulties.
And mine was just bad.
We were playing Magic the whole time.
We were.
And there was no video. So it was just like, it didn't have, it was like, unless you love Magic.
Right, which I would think 98% of your listeners do.
I'll tell you what.
I'm listening.
I'm thinking, if I could find it, and I'm pretty well organized, I'm sure I have it. I throw our old episode up on Patreon. What do you guys think? What do you think? You think I should put it on Patreon? Make some noise.
Let's hear it.
Come on, you can do better than that.
I'm not hearing a lot. Maybe not.
I put it in post. I put it in post.
Well, I honestly, if I had to be honest,
yeah,
I recalled, the episode being pretty bad and boring. And I was happy it didn't come out.
$5. You can give it a listen.
Bargain price.
Speaking of sound effects, Blake.
That's right.
Blake.
Yeah.
Oh, I just heard a camera turn off.
Did you? I thought that was coming from outside.
Yeah, I think it was outside. I think you're right.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the show is like maybe a neuroses about the cameras. Is that part of it?
Welcome to another episode of Cameras. Today, we camera Blake.
Like, how often are your cameras turning off to where you have this fear?
Every 3 episodes.
You lose everything.
Well, I hear the beep, which I just heard. Oh, but sometimes I don't hear the beep, so that's why I warn my guests. It's not in this opening, but I warn them that I go like this.
Yeah.
And I check, and I normally do that while the guest is talking.
You do realize you have way too many cameras as well, right? Like, there's far too many cameras.
Well, which one should we get rid of?
At least one of them.
Why? What makes you think there's too much?
There's more cameras than people.
Yeah. If you were to do a solo show,
Uh-huh.
Have you seen Billy Crystal's "Hey Guys, I'm from New York" on HBO?
No, absolutely not.
He did a one-man show that opens up. Now you know me; I'm a Billy fanatic.
Like, yeah, you're probably my biggest Billy buddy, if I had to say, for sure.
He talks about I'm from New York and the Yankees. You know, he's doing that thing. Multiple cameras.
He's not that tough guy. He's more like, I'm from New York. I'm like the Yankees.
Those are the characters he plays.
Oh, so he's kind of like, from the... Oh.
He is.
But he is from New York, and he does like... No, wait, is he a Mets guy?
He's a Mets guy.
See, that's why we love Billy.
Tell me why that is. You people who pick Mets over the Yankees are people who like... Who believe it?
Well, come on. The Yankees are the man. The Yankees are money. The Yankees are...
Right.
I'm an A's fan, brother. I'm for the people.
I couldn't name 10 baseball players.
You couldn't?
No.
Oh, well. That's wild. You like sports, though.
Love
correct?
basketball.
That's it.
I like, I'll watch anything. I don't know what's happening. But you're a big baseball guy and basketball guy.
I like sports. I like sports.
Do you have any footage of any cool sports or skateboarding tricks that you've done that we could show the people?
No.
We'll cut to a clip.
We're freaking back.
This is important. You're the podcaster now.
This is important podcast. Hot.
Now, I had Adam. You know Adam.
My friend Adam DeVine?
Yeah.
Or which one?
Adam DeVine.
I know a lot of Adams.
How many Adam DeVines do you know?
I know of 2. I only personally know 1.
It's the Workaholics one.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I know.
I had him on right before you guys, like a couple weeks before your podcast came out.
Oh.
And he had the attitude.
Audacity is what you want to say.
He had the audacity of like, I'll do a podcast. It was nothing. It was just like, they presented me. iHeartRadio presented us with this opportunity. And it's like, why not? Mm-hmm. And since it's come out, it's like a really successful, great podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised, but I am flattered that we've got listeners.
Yeah, like I saw it was ranked in one of the top comedy podcasts.
Yeah,
on something.
We stay up there.
You know how I could tell it's doing well? A podcast does well. It's not the full thing, but when you look at the podcast Instagram account, because who gives a fuck?
True.
You know, and
True.
It has like 30-some thousand So if your Instagram has that much, that's how.
Is that a lot to you? 30,
Yeah.
30,000?
I think at Shoes Off Pod has like just under 6,000. And I think that's, I'm like, good for me.
Yeah. But
You
you're
know?
like completely independent, correct? We have the titan, the behemoth known as iHeartRadio behind
It's
us.
funny that you bring that up because we actually recently got iHeartRadio as a sponsor. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Blake Anderson of This Is Important Podcast, and I want to say thank you to all the subscribers and listeners over at iHeartRadio. I heart you, we heart you.
Right. I meant to do, I need you to do an ad for iHeartRadio, not for your podcast.
I'm not that deep in their pockets yet.
Okay.
I'm here representing This Is Important.
Right.
I have love for iHeartRadio.
Start the music. What do you mean you have love for iHeartRadio?
When you think of love, what organ do you think of? Heart. I heart. My heart. Our heart. iHeartRadio.
That was a good radio voice at the end.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I mentioned how much I didn't like my voice, but I'm working on my radio voice.
Do you want to try doing your radio voice for a little bit in this?
Yeah, I might break into it.
Okay. So I brought up your podcast because I know you do sound effects. Is that you?
Sound effects?
Yeah.
I do. I have a soundboard. Yeah.
Is it like a drum pad?
It is, yes.
I want one of those.
Yeah.
And then you have them preloaded in?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much the only one in our show that does any sort of homework. Like, I go, I rack my brain. I'm like, what would be a good little addition to the soundboard? I listen to the people. Sometimes I get suggestions I like. But then I email a guy. I'm like, yo, can I get this in wave form? Because I'm not super proficient at that yet. And then I load it onto my board before the show. And
How many effects do you have?
dude, I've got a lot now.
On a board, could you have tons? Because you only have so many pads.
You do, but you have like, A, B, C, D, E, F, and each one of those letters has about 10 sounds.
So it's kind of like if you hold the A on the keyboard, you get the A with the tilde, the A with a couple of dots,
I think so.
some fart sound effects.
Yeah. Well, I need more of those.
So we have this thing. It's very expensive, and I don't know how sustainable it is, but I bought this chapstick that puts in fart sound effects.
Really? That's now that's my brand of comedy.
Watch this. Here, pretend I'm a tall girl, and you're hitting on me.
Oh, I thought you meant the beer.
No.
That's,
An
that's
actual
what we
tall
call
girl.
them now. Oh, so
And then tell me how would you respond to a tall girl doing this?
Yeah.
Here, I'll be hot for a minute.
okay. Oh, wowzers. Wow. Hey. Ooh. Those are some creamy lips. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
What up?
Shit.
What?
Shit. Just waiting for my girls.
Where you from?
Kansas.
Oh, yeah, cool. That's cool. Did you go to school out there or what?
Yeah.
Cool.
Ask me what my major was.
What was your major?
I also have been getting people to send us in some farts.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Late night farts. That's for you, Rick.
That's where you lost me.
What part?
The sending in the fart stuff.
You wouldn't send in a fart?
Slippery slope.
Why? After you said it a fart, what do you think would happen next?
I mean, the whole pod just turns into a fart extravaganza.
You haven't watched the show, have you?
No.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey.
Hi.
Is this
Yeah.
part of it?
Yeah, that's our mascot, Goblin Frank.
Oh. Okay, now I kind of see it. Oh. Does it do farties too? Oh!
Open your mouth.
Ah.
iHeartRadio, where our shit doesn't stink.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming over.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude.
So, tell me about iHeart not iHeartRadio. Tell me about this is important. And the reason I brought that up is, did you have that same kind of, yeah, we'll give this a go attitude, and has that changed now that it's become something?
100%. Yeah. I also approached it with a, what would you say, is laissez-faire? Is that what does that mean?
I thought you were going to say lackluster. Laissez-faire, I know I'm wrong, but if this were on the multiple choice, I would be looking at it for a while. Let the buyer beware.
Let the buyer beware.
Buyer beware. I know that's not laissez-faire, but it's also, is it laissez-faire? If you guys think laissez-faire means let the buyer beware, comment let the buyer beware in the comments. If you think it's not that, either comment what you think it is or comment Blake has a, how big is your penis?
I don't know.
Just guess how big you think Blake's penis is. In fact, do that anyway, but then after that, write the other things.
Well, I assumed laissez-faire meant like lukewarm.
Yeah, let's just use...
yeah, so I kind of came in on...
Is that Owen Worm's brother?
I don't think it's actually part of the Worm family. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyways.
Are you having an okay time?
I'm all right.
I feel pretty good.
Good.
I recently started microdosing.
Did you?
Yes.
What?
My anxiety... just weed.
Microdosing weed.
Oh, you're saying that's not enough? Yeah, well...
If you're going to microdose something that's, like, strong.
Like regular dosing weed?
Like regular dose weed and then, like, microdose...
Tell me a drug.
Like shrooms.
I've never done shrooms.
Really?
No, and I want to. The closest I got... Well, I had a taste somewhere, but it didn't do anything. The closest I actually got to really doing it was at our friend Adam's house. He had some in his freezer, but I got scared.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, am I allowed to say that? Am I putting somebody in the? I mean, that's not illegal, or
no? It's legal, and it didn't like Portland or Washington just make it legal to do.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm talking about a different Adam.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm talking about Adam DeVine from Workaholics,
the redheaded one.
Yes.
On IMDb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that crackling.
Yeah, what is that? Is that the farts?
I heard your recent episode where you guys want to do a Snap, Crackle, Pop movie, so I try to put in some new sound effects.
Cool. Did you like our casting choices?
I didn't get that far into the episode.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
Who was your casting choices?
I'm Crackle.
I wouldn't know them if they sat on my face.
I wouldn't either, but...
I have a surprise for you.
What?
Crackle, come on in!
No way! Crackle's here? Oh my
Come here, buddy.
God. Crackle. I'm
You can tell me what you are.
I feel like I may be being a little laissez-faire about the whole situation, but
well, there's no need to beware when you're buying our cereal.
I understand that. You're a name I can trust. Just want to tell you that if I do get the honor of playing you in a biopic, it's just such an honor, and I just really want to just embrace everything you stand for and just become you.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
I have a surprise for you.
What's that?
Well, actually, one of the themes of our show is, we snap and we cut to things. Or do we snap to snap?
Dude, I'm not. What was that?
Watch this. Crackle, snap. Do that thing I like.
So you did listen to the pod.
Wait. Watch it. Look at.
Oh, God. Wait. Now Pop is over here on me.
Yeah.
Oh, Pop me. What's cool is...
Yeah, just people watching from there.
Yikes.
So before microdosing, you were telling me about laissez-faire, and how before you were like saying, "Hey guys, you could buy it, but be careful. Do your due diligence."
Sure.
And now.
So when I first approached the podcast, it was kind of like, it's a damn pandemic. We got to find a way to maybe
bring this closer.
It's a damn pandemic.
Too close.
And we got to, find a way to stay busy, creative.
Yeah.
But I wasn't holding up the podcast on any sort of pedestal or anything. The first couple episodes, I still hadn't quite wrapped my head around being a podcaster or whatever that may mean in people's minds. But now I'm pretty hyped on it. It's just cool. It's cool to have an excuse to talk to,
chicks.
well, my best friends.
Yeah. When you think about it, even when you don't think about it, especially when you do, though, best friends and chicks, they just make you feel good.
Well, hopefully your chick is your best friend.
Mine is.
Good.
Mine is.
Yeah, you in a good, healthy relationship right now?
Let's just say that I may not consume too much alcohol, but I'm no stranger to my tall girl.
Good. Cheers to that.
Yeah, Betty is my bud.
Betty's her name?
Yeah.
I haven't met a Betty in real life.
Yeah, she's real.
Betty?
Yeah, she's real. Want me to get on the phone?
Sure. I mean, don't bug her. Is she at work?
She's working. She told me to leave her alone.
Yeah?
Yep.
Does she tell you to do that a lot?
More than I'd like.
Okay.
She's in another country, so it's probably that's.
Really? Where's she at?
She's in Australia. Or,
Australia?
yeah.
What part?
Melbourne.
Melbourne?
Yeah, or is it Melbourne?
Melbourne.
It's like it's Melbourne.
It's Melbourne.
Yeah, she's in Melbourne.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Is she working? She's working.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you have this? Were you growing up, or is this a local radio thing? People would call in the radio station, the hip hop station, and they're like, "What's your name?" Or I think they said, "What your name is?" Blake. Are you working? Yeah. Are your pockets tight? Yeah, I'm doing all right. What's your gear look like? They would say, like, are you working? Are your pockets tight? What's your gear look like?
Right.
And people would have to, like, respond to it, and they would usually do it like, Tommy Hilfiger all night. Like, you know, doing a way to rhyme
Absolutely
it. You
not.
didn't have that?
No.
Well, can we try it on this podcast?
I don't want to, but I will.
No.
No, you're steering the ship, brother. This is your pod.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Hogan.
Yeah, you got it.
So you call on in, and I'll ask you the questions and try to...
Okay.
What's up, man? What's your name?
Blake.
Hey, Blake. You working?
I'm doing a pod, I guess. Does this work?
What you... You working? Are your pockets tight?
I was thinking that these are kind of squeeze my thighs.
What's your gear? Man, you stupid. What's your gear look like?
You know, got some Ben Davis, some Teenage, a little Johnny Ryan bandana. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, we could, if you want, we could put you into something real fresh.
Sure.
Give us a snap. Whoa, no.
Not that one. Snap, you dirty dog.
Yeah, give us a snap.
I would like Snap to... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That was sick.
Yeah.
Stinks.
Yeah, well, it's paint.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm microdosing right now.
Yeah.
The fumes.
If you guys are going to pick up any merch, know that the sweatshirts, wash them first, or it's going to smell a little bit like the ink.
Yeah, but one of the best things about getting new merch is how soft they are inside.
My stuff, I mean, not just my merch. I mean, stuff I buy lasts because I wash in cold water only, and I hang dry.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. I have T-shirts from high school.
Good.
Boy, are my arms tired.
Yeah, me, ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when, are you making, like...
Boss moves?
Are you making bank from the podcast?
We're doing all right. You know, I don't know the business model too much. I guess, like, the more popular you get, the more sponsors you get on your show. Yeah, I mean, I want to make more. I want to make a lot.
Do you think you're going to keep doing it if the pandemic ever goes away and you're working regularly?
We'll see. I mean, I do like doing it. It's really fun to talk to the guys, and we approach it very laissez-faire.
Sure. You guys are all separate places, but you have good microphones.
We do, yeah.
Something I noticed is there's very little talking over each other, and for something that's unscripted, that's got to be edited that way.
I do believe since we're all on different tracks, they can, like, kind of turn us down.
But is there any logistical workflow that you guys have with each other to make that happen? For example, when I was doing the Zoom ones, there was a delay.
Uh-huh.
So it was sometimes you talk over. So I would tell my guest, and I would also practice this, that whoever is talking, take the lead. So if I'm talking and then you, I'm not going to go, oh, no. It just messes up the flow. So I'm just going to barrel through, and then you edit that audio out.
Sure.
Is that something that you guys have kind of
Well, you realize we've been together
Right.
for a decade. Like, we know each other pretty well. We're pretty good at just reading each other, so you know when to shut the hell up, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe there is some editing as well. We have sound engineers that work on the pod. Thank you, iHeartRadio.
It sounds really good. Like,
Thanks,
not just
man.
like the quality. It's just the fact that you guys aren't in the room together. I mean, you already said that, but it obviously is something to the chemistry you guys have, because having four people is really hard in the same room.
Yeah, I was pretty worried about the logistics and the talking over and all that, but it's worked out all right, I think.
Do people take the lead, and is it episode by episode? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would say that, it's kind of been our dynamic, but Adam is sort of still the freight train that he is. I'm probably the quietest guy, but that's because I focus on the soundboard a little bit.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's just we're just passing the rock, baby. You know basketball.
yeah.
Yeah, we're working that triangle offense with another person. So a 4-person triangle offense.
Is there a Kobe? Is there a Jordan? Or is there a Phil?
Oh, I would say I've just always considered Kyle our Phil Jackson, not only in, what he embodies, but he sort of looks like...
He's a meditative guy. Are you saying he physically looks like him?
Yeah. Have you looked at, like, Phil Jackson when he was younger, like playing on the Knicks and stuff?
We'll put up a pic.
Yeah, he kind of has Kyle's body.
Huh.
Yeah, he looks like he could be of the Newachecks, or Kyle could be of the Jacksons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Phil Jacksons.
Well,
A lot more Jacksons there are Devines.
that's true.
I was talking to my girlfriend, who's real,
Betty.
and about you, how you're like, I guess if in one word, but it's really the word is there's such a spectrum on this word. But you're a weird guy, right? Yeah, you have a lot of your jokes are almost.
Not funny.
No, they're hysterical. I think you're hysterical. They're asides, kind of. I don't remember what it was, but I was listening to, and I'm upset, and I didn't think I would be talking about this, or I would have looked at it. But there was a joke that you said. I don't remember what it was, but nobody heard it or nobody cared, and it was a laugh out loud joke. And you sit in that pocket. Well, it's something in a different way. I relate very strongly to that.
Sure. I'm a counterpuncher.
Well, I think it's a certain type of comedy, brand of comedy, where Adam is, and he's great at this. This is why Adam's a star.
Yeah.
Adam is. I'm not talking about his like soul of intention. I'm talking about his comedy jokes. It's
Sure.
a look at this.
Sure.
It's a big bro, funny, look at me thing.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna say look at me, you have to deliver a look at me joke.
Sure.
Where I feel I often am, and I'm putting you in this category,
Okay.
is the joke doesn't work if you say, look at me.
Right.
It's deconstructed by design in some way that what's funny is the underdog vibe to it. Is that fair? Does that make sense?
Sure.
So if somebody were to say, Blake, what do you think? And you went, popcorn, whatever the fucking, whatever the thing
Which
was.
is very funny.
It doesn't work.
Oh, not funny.
I think that you thrive in... Yeah, I think you thrive in a intended underdog environment. Could you connect to that at all?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. And I would guess I was just kidding. I don't mind being called weird. I don't mind being called unusual. Yeah, I pride myself on that. I like to just be myself. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I think that's why I've never even attempted to be a stand-up comedian, which is rare because you are a stand-up comedian.
This is where part of my struggles come from stand-up, so I understand, but please go on.
Like, I'm a fairly introverted person, the Adam has been such a godsend in my life in that he is such an attacker and put the freight train, the grenade,
The Jordan, the Kobe.
Yeah, the comedy fucking Shaq. I'm gonna give him Shaq.
Shaq doesn't run the triangle, but I understand.
But he fucking brings the whole damn hoop down.
Yeah, I
but
guess he does run it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he kind of.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
I'm getting in the way of this conversation that I care about, so please continue.
Well, I just you just got to kind of know your role, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a problem. I don't yearn for the spotlight of sorts. I don't think I'm incapable of being that. I think I can be really funny. It's just, I don't know.
I don't think it's a matter of being really funny or not funny or like what's funnier.
Sure.
It's just the stage that it's on. You know what I mean? Like you thrive in this environment. That's I'm always flattered by this. I'm not saying yes to it or not, but one of the things I get often is I remind people of Chevy Chase.
Okay.
I take that as a win.
Sure.
The reason why I think they say that is because of this. Chevy Chase is that way, but he's still, but he needs to be. It needs to be that kind of thing.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah, but I'm talking about his characters.
Oh, okay.
I don't know Chevy, and I don't want to get into the politics of it. I've heard what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I know Vacations. I know The Burbs.
Okay.
Not The Burbs. That's Tom Hanks.
Tom
What am I
Hanks.
thinking of? The one with Dan Aykroyd is that monster-looking guy.
Not Coneheads.
No.
That's a monster.
Yeah,
guy.
It's like this comedy horror movie.
Oh, Nothing to Lose.
No, that's with Martin Lawrence and Susan Sarandon's ex-husband.
Nothing to Lose?
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
Anyway, I'll put up a poster so people know.
Dan Aykroyd's a monster?
Dan Aykroyd looks like this very old...
That's Nothing to Lose.
Okay. I'll concede it. What's the Nothing to Lose movie with Martin Short? Or not Martin Short, Martin Lawrence.
Oh, maybe that's called Nothing to
Yes.
Lose. But
let's move past. Unless you want to look it up. But
no, because that movie you're talking about is cool as fuck.
The movie with Dan Aykroyd as the old guy.
But he actually plays like 4 characters.
No, you're thinking of Nutty Professor.
I'm not. I'm thinking of
one of the Nutty Professors.
I think it's called Nothing to Lose.
No, the Clumps one. Return of the Clumps?
Return of the Clones.
Return of the Clones. Oh, right. It's one of these. It's one of the Star. Is it one of the Star Warses? Is it Star Y? Is it Star Warses or Y? What's plural for wars?
Star
Y.
Wheezy. Star
Wheezy. Are your pockets tight?
They sure are, bruh. Truck fit.
But the environment for that is, I was just getting at, is Chevy Chase as Fletch. All of his jokes are asides. They're funny, but the character opposite Chevy isn't in on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's almost like you need someone to not be in on it for the structure to work. And for me, that's where it gets into like, oh, you're trying to fuck with people, or like, I guess more like politically correct punk people.
Sure.
Which is not my intention.
Right.
Do you connect with that at all? Do you find environments to where you could, like, do you enjoy when somebody doesn't get it? Does it make you feel, or is that part of the device of like, let me rephrase it. Not that you want somebody not to get it, but it's a inevitable byproduct of the brand of comedy.
I don't know if it's so much like on the nose like that, but I definitely like characters who are consumed in their own world and they have their own truths, and that may not be what is the norm in society. Like, those characters are very funny to me, like, but I don't know if it's where I thought like Chevy Chase was more of like a he's like above people, right? Is his intellect a little higher than everybody else? I like playing really stupid.
Yeah, but it's still the same device. It's like saying, and that was my grandma, or and that was my sister. It's a different joke, but it's the same thing. So like Chevy is the intellectual version. You play the stupid version.
Okay.
But it's the same thing where you're controlling it and they don't know it.
Okay.
Or you're controlling it and they do know it, but you're in control.
Sure.
What makes you connect to playing the buffoon, do you think? Why do you think that you're so good at that?
Because
you're a smart guy. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty dumb too. I will admit I'm pretty dumb.
Could you give any examples? What does laissez-faire mean?
Just look at me. I'm a bozo.
You're also, are you low energy? We call yourself low energy?
No, I'm chill.
Chill.
Yeah.
What's going on right now?
Just, I know how dumb I sound.
I would love for you to explain that, but it seems like
I'm an idiot.
Like you don't know the capitals of cities. You're.
No, I do. Try me.
I don't know.
You're dumb.
I'm not dumb. I'm just big boned.
I get that. Yeah, your freaking skull is big boned. You don't got no brains.
Speaking of skulls and bones, you You had a
Pirates.
you had a back injury.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that back right when we get front. What happened? I didn't know about that until looking some stuff up about you.
Me and Adam and I, when we were living together after the Workaholics house, we decided that we weren't done being roommates. We still wanted to live that lifestyle. We got a really cool house together in the Hollywood Hills, and kind of was like a little bit of a party destination. And one night we throw a pretty...
Is this the one with the big dinosaur?
Yeah. You were there.
Yeah. That was by, it was like off Cahuenga.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was like kind of a Christmas party, and I had gotten we had a ton of people there, like really random stars or whatever.
Come on, just you and me here. Tell me, who are some of these stars?
I mean, it was like, I feel like
T.I.?
Mindy like showed up, like Caitlyn, and like Odd Future was there, and like Chelsea Peretti. Is just like the most random grab bag of people.
Okay.
But some like people were on that dinosaur roof kind of being like, oh, I'm gonna jump off, and they kind of chickened out, and I was like, I'll do it. So I went up there, jumped off through this beer pong table, and I ended up breaking my back. Yeah.
You know, you're a smart guy.
Like, they're like, I'm not gonna do it, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do it. So, like, I just like went on the roof, and I was just like,
and freaking just
And what happened to your back?
it broke.
You broke your back.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I mean, are you in the hospital for a long time?
I was like laid up for about 7 days. I had a surgery on my lower back. They had to take out a rib. They had to. Yeah, it was a whole process.
What's the rehab? Are you 100%?
I'm pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I still definitely feel. I know that I've broken my back. It's there. No, but it's good.
Oh, fuck.
Did I have you? You really thought?
That you just started crying?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sensitive. I'm bummed I did it. But it is a lesson in life that I have taken to everybody. Like, sometimes the decision you're making in life can last. The repercussions could last a long time. So always use your best judgment.
It's good.
Yeah.
That was my girlfriend calling.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I didn't answer because
Betty?
you're telling a story. Yeah.
Dude, you can take that.
No, it's okay. She's real.
You sure?
Yeah. I mean, unless you want me to call her back.
No,
but
you sure she's real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So you're saying don't jump off of stuff?
You can.
Okay, never mind. I read that wrong.
Just be better at it.
How would you compare working on Workaholics to Woke? Not, I guess there's two reasons I asked that. There's the different
the two
style
things
of show.
I've done.
Well, those are just, I'm friends with Adam and I'm friends with TYSO favorite Lamorne.
I play every Tuesday night.
I am phenomenal.
I play every Friday night.
I am phenomenal.
I play every Saturday
I
afternoon.
am phenomenal.
And then other times too, I am phenomenal. I got big balls. I got a cool guy haircut. I got... Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Watch this. Yo. You ain't passed the ball enough, eat my butt. You ain't checked the ball out, eat my butt. You shoot from too far, eat my butt. But you make it every time, no shit, slut, I'm the fucking man. Since I was a young teen, everybody was me. Nobody liked me, was never picked on the team. Then I grew 6 inches, I turned 16. Started dunking kinda, I'm the best.
So I know who you're working with. It's a different style show altogether, but with Workaholics, it's a lot. It feels like, and I've come to set a couple of times because Kyle let me shadow him.
That's
it's just
right.
You guys are playing.
Yeah.
And it's also you created the show, so you have more
total power.
Yeah, but playing versus doing something like Woke, where you have more of an actor responsibility. Could you compare pros and cons to that?
Well, to be fair, like the scenes that I'm in with T. Murph and Lamorne, they're still very much like improvised, and they allow us to play in our scenes. It's just that we do get to places where, you know, the subject matter is very serious, and that's what's cool that I really like about Woke, is that you can get to these moments that are heavy, that are important. And Lamorne is a way better actor than Anders and Adam combined.
Yeah, he's really talented. Not saying anything about them.
I'm joking, kind of.
Oh, I think he's
Lamorne
really
is
talented.
very good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
I don't know Durs as well as I know Adam.
Sure.
But Adam will always be successful because you can't not you just like him. He's funny and you like him.
He's hilarious.
And I think he's a good actor. When he was on, I was talking to him. One of my favorite things he's done, and I've seen almost everything he's done.
Me too.
Is the Magic Camp.
I haven't seen that.
It's so good.
Really?
It's so good. I don't know him. If I don't know anybody, I'm still recommending it. It was one of my favorite movies I watched last summer.
Really?
Or whenever, however long that was. Even
I mean, no
than that.
movies came out, but so there is that.
But I've watched a lot of stuff that I hadn't seen.
Okay, that's cool. So you're
it's-
putting it up against like Casablanca.
I'd never seen Casablanca.
Okay.
And I could tell you how much I don't care about it, but I don't want to waste our time.
Okay, let's not do that.
It's such a good movie, and Adam was so good in it.
Okay.
However, not talking about them, Lamorne, which is
Right.
really cool to see in a comedian, gets into characters that aren't him very well. Like, he's a very good character actor. He has the voices. He changes his inflections. Mm-hmm. I've only improvised with him. I've never done something scripted, let alone something that has serious. Is he still the playful guy the whole time, or is there a different level that he kicks into?
I mean, that show is so dependent on Lamorne. Like, he really shoulders that show. It's his character's story, you know, for the most part, and a lot of responsibility. And I was kind of in awe of like, yo, like this dude is doing it and not making it look like he's losing his mind. For me, I would be so stressed
Because of the responsibility?
just the workload. Yeah, just the workload. Just being like that. It just feels like a lot of weight. Not saying I couldn't do it. I just know that I don't think I would do it with such, you know, seemingly like ease. Like he impressed me.
What makes Lamorne on that show have more work than you on Workaholics when you're carrying the A story?
Well, it's much more of like in Workaholics. It was much more of like a pass back and forth for sure.
Oh, so you're saying he literally has like more scenes, more lines, more things to study?
Yeah, and the story is the show Woke is at the heart of it is his character Keith. You know, that's like what the show's about. But yeah, just in workload, like lines and like how much he was in every scene and doing that.
What's the hardest job you've had as an actor?
That's a good question. My hardest job as an actor. I don't know.
Has there ever been anything where like there are some roles that I feel like I'm ready, let's play. Like I could tap into this is in my wheelhouse. Like, you know, we all have at least one thing that we could tap into.
Sure.
You like playing the buffoon, for example. Like you were able to do that, you know.
That's what I'm offered.
But what about, has there been something that is like you feel you could be good, maybe you were good in, or maybe you weren't, but you had to actually like find it and work for it? I never saw Dope, but it seemed like the A$AP Rocky movie, right? A$AP and Zoe?
It's definitely the A$AP Rocky vehicle.
A$AP and Zoe Kravitz and you, and I just remember there was some event, I was with Brent Morin, and he said, I don't remember what it was, but it was at some like art house, something that you were putting together, and I just remember the poster, and I should have watched it. I haven't. But it seemed like a serious kind of independent hip-hop type of thing.
Sure. I mean, I'm still playing a pretty in-character character. I haven't been given too much opportunities to not play some version of myself.
Is that by choice?
Not necessarily. I think it's the industry. They try to box you, put you in, you know.
Well, you were the only. I could be wrong. At least when I think I came to on the finale, the Workaholics series finale. But you were the only one who didn't direct one, and which I'd imagine is a choice of yours, right?
Yeah. I just have a lot of respect for directors and the process, and you know, I saw what what it takes to be a director is it's a lot of work,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like when you direct and we're starring in Workaholics, not that Adam and Durs didn't do anything, but a lot of it just goes on the shoulders of the crew, the AD, the DP, that stuff, because you're not even looking at the monitor. So in that way, I was like, oh man, I don't want that to be my directorial experience. Looking back, probably should have just done it.
Is there any similarity to you not having directed versus you not playing characters out of your box, or do you feel more the latter is not in your control as much?
I feel the latter's a little out of my control because I'm not super confident in myself as a director. I've never done that. I do know I'm a good actor. I could play roles for sure.
You just don't want to direct, right?
I wouldn't say I don't want to. It's just I would like to approach it with a seriousness for sure.
Would you consider approaching production on Woke if it goes a third season and ask to direct one?
That I didn't think of, but yeah, I would be more inclined to do that than Workaholics, just because, I'm not in as many scenes, even though it would be weird.
Yeah, you could pick it. I guess you could also request like an episode that you have less to do in.
Yeah, for sure. But it would be kind of weird. I don't know. Directing is weird, because now that I'm like actually thinking about it, like giving Lamorne notes, I don't know. I'm also very respectful to like actors and their choices. I don't know what my directing style would be.
I love collaborating so much that I don't look at it as if I were directing Billy Crystal, somebody who, has been doing this longer than me. I don't believe that I would feel insecure or worried about giving notes, because I think of it as either a suggestion at the least or a suggestion that I'm passionate about at the
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what I want to be directing.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you have to ask for it.
You also gotta wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I think Lamorne's pretty good at taking notes as well. But there's some actors who I would imagine are fucking nightmares.
And would that deter you from wanting to do the craft of
Yeah,
directing?
I think it deters me from even wanting to be in the industry.
It seems like maybe there's some examples of that. You don't have to give names.
No, I haven't had any nightmare scenarios. It's just like you know the vibes.
Uh-huh.
It's like a lot of egos. I'm a very in check ego person. That's not my vibe.
How much of acting is about a job? For example, I want to have a job where it's just positive vibes, man.
Yeah.
Then I want a job where I can make good money.
Right.
And then I want to be able to do art, and this job allows me to do that.
For sure. How do I divide that up?
Yeah, I understand it's not a real percentage, but
I mean, those are those are thoughts that go through my head a lot. As I get older, I'm more inclined to take stuff, just because that's another place where Adam's super helpful in my life, because I think Adam is like very much says yes to stuff, I was much more of like say no, leave money on the table guy. I would just want to do stuff that I feel good about. But even in watching some stuff that Adam does, it's like it's cool to just say yes and have it, but like I get so wrapped up in like, oh gosh, like what will people think, like if I'm in this thing that is, I don't know, a money grab or whatever. But if you just take away like the experience and something you did and it's in the past, people are pretty, especially now, like forgiving to like just going out there, just like working, like just do it. This is my job.
Mm-hmm.
Saying yes is just the first step. Always saying no, you'll never grow from that. And and I think I'd rather have like an experience than to have nothing. So that's something that I'm like starting to learn more, because I have a pretty negative approach or at least I did.
On job selection in particular, or does that expand past that?
I think it goes all the way through my life for sure. I'm not I don't know.
Are you feeling? I don't want to it feels like maybe it might be uncomfortable the way you stopped it, but I have more questions about that.
Well, I don't know.
It just seems like maybe you're wanting to end that.
We got goblin shit in my mouth, but do you like to go into like psychoanalysis? Do you I don't know, where do you want to go?
Yes, it is weird being so sincere with you right now, and I love it, and that's why I think your podcast is doing well, my man.
I like both. I want it to be organic. I don't have a structure built, but I think in a perfect structure, which this organically was, I like to open hot. Mm-hmm. I like to open with goblin shits, fart buttons, and tall boy comedy.
There we
TBCs.
go. Absolutely.
But I also want there to be substance to the conversation. 2 reasons. One, so this is a sustainable podcast and people care to listen instead of just I'll listen to farts when I'm in the mood. And 2, we've never had a conversation one-on-one for longer than, other than when you came over to play Magic, which was also a podcast.
Sure. For
more than minutes at a time.
Sure.
And it's that there's a lot of people who I consider friends, but are like, do they consider me a friend or an acquaintance? You know what I mean? Like, it's far enough away to where if I had to define it, I wouldn't know how. Those people, this is episode 99. I've had a lot of people over where, like, I've gotten to know them literally on the podcast.
Have you noticed that? Because I give some of that credit to the whole pandemic. I yearn so much for, like, people that I'm, like, so much more willing to open up and listen to people now more than ever. Where, like, before it could be, like, a passing conversation, but you're, like, the 7th person I've seen in 8 months.
I think that adds to the appreciation of it. However, before the pandemic, this podcast was doing that for me.
Look at you.
I was having people come into my living room. I call it Take Your Shoes Off because that's the first of many rules when somebody comes over.
Sure.
And it's very hard to have people in my environment. I get very anxious and stressed. Mm-hmm. I deal with that by overcompensating with bits and or things that I'm usually it's I'd rather try and make it funny or kind of distract from the true neuroses and the Rick's difficult to be around.
Sure.
And yeah, it's difficult. Like some of my things, it makes it very difficult for me. So I don't like people to come over. Like, let me save both of us.
Uh-huh.
But I felt like it was getting a little bit worse. I needed some exposure. I also wanted to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring people over. It makes it easier. There's also something, and I could tell you this as a stand-up, but maybe you could relate to this as a performer in general. There are things that are easier to do on camera or on stage.
Yeah.
Like, you're nervous to talk to a girl. I'm unless I'm in the pocket when I was single, I'd be nervous. But when you're on stage, it's easy to talk to a girl.
Sure.
I've talked to girls and flirted, and it was like confident guy. And I've said, by the way, I know this is confident guy, and this is part of who I am. But there's no way I'm coming up to you after the show. You're gonna have to come to me, if you know what I mean.
It's a smarter road to take, I think.
Being on stage, or Brent is this way. He'll do it. We have this thing we say, do it for the bit. If it gets a laugh, if there's, even if it's just to me, if there's an audience, it's like, I'm not going to do this on my own, but I'll put $100 on a hand of blackjack if you like, because you said do it, and I had 100 in my, just to get the laugh.
Sure.
So there's something about this podcast where, still don't step on, take your shoes over the tray, all these things, and I mean it, but I don't feel like in survival mode, because I know I could watch this. I know I'm going to edit this. It's a character trait. Even though it's real, I could get a laugh from this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something about having people over on camera. It's exposure. Anyway,
Sure.
I'm feeling a little insecure. I went too long on that. But
well, here's a question. Do you have in-depth, like, serious conversations with people without the microphone in front of your face?
That's, yes, but not too many people where it's outside of the circle.
Sure.
Because think of all the experiences we've had together, or anybody you've had that's at a similar relationship to me. Like, you're usually not at their house one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what I was saying about, like, the pandemic is, like, the few people I have seen, it's a very one-on-one situation, and it's like, let's get to it.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's have some substance. I'm ready to have connection and diarrhea. That's my soundboard. Diarrhea.
When you build a thing, you say you do your research. Do you guys have talking points beforehand that like, all right, we might be talking about diarrhea today?
No, I think we will go. I like to call it pod jazz because it's just, we're just playing a little jazz. We kind of know we just know each other so well. You hear something going, and you just kind of build on that. Add a little here, add a little there. But as far as, like, knowing what we're going to talk about, there is none of that. I will have, like, a little sheet of paper of, like, buzzwords that if I hear a lull in the conversation, I'm like, oh, here's something that like I was thinking about. Like, let's talk about lice.
Oh, that's great. So you kind of, it's almost like having like prepared questions. You have prepared sound effects. If we ever like are in a dip, this will start us talking about something.
There's that, yeah. And then I do actually have like subjects that I want to talk about.
Almost like they're theme songs or theme sound effects to the subject.
Those aren't so much as synced as like I'm saying, like if I hear a way, like say like an example from the last one is like I watched the Flintstones live action movie, and I was like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool thing to talk about because
You watched it recently?
Yes,
It's a good movie.
it's awesome.
Tom Arnold one, or did they remake it?
No, Tom Arnold's not in it. It's John Goodman and
John
Rick,
Goodman. I'm
Rick
sorry.
Moranis.
I'm thinking the guy who married Roseanne, but I'm thinking John Goodman.
Yeah, but it's super like practical effects, like puppetry, like the costumes, everything is awesome. And it's like worth a rewatch just on like, wow, Hollywood really pulled it off. There's a lot of work involved in it, but like the way that I dropped that into talking, and the thing is like somehow somebody else brought up like old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And I was like, oh shit, this is my time. And I might have had that Flintstones movie thing on this paper for the last 3 episodes, but this is where it's going to fit in.
And what is the sound effect?
It's not it's not the soundboard.
Now I understand.
I have
You have soundboard and you have...
Yes.
Yes.
I do my homework,
One of these.
One of those, little cheat sheet.
It says, make sure you push a chapstick to fart.
Yeah.
Change sweatshirt.
Yeah, well, we're right on target, aren't we?
I want to go back, though, to where we were before we showed Adam getting his mouth pissed in, which is the negative approach that you feel.
Sure.
And it started, we were talking about negative approach with you saying no to things, which is, if you were to say pros and cons, one of the pros would be kind of curating your brand.
Sure.
The con being missing out on opportunities, having a negative outlook on just, I guess it's some form of judgment.
Sure.
But then in a broader sense. So where do you see that in your life outside of just choice of project?
I mean, and I've like actually just started like kind of working on it the last 3 months, but yeah, I'm just like hypercritical of myself. I don't necessarily like myself.
Are you depressed?
I can be.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm like, I'm not, God forbid, suicidal. I don't have those kind of thoughts, but yeah, I can be sad.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a mental health / awareness movement, at least on social media, where people are, it almost feels like, well, relax. It's nice because it draws attention to things.
Sure.
But I do think part of the message of it that I like is kind of destigmatizing. Like, depression doesn't mean suicidal. If you can't recognize that you're not at a great place because you're not at a horrible, horrible place, it kind of negates your actual feelings.
Here's what I'm starting to like unpack is like I've always been very able to say like, yeah, I'm a sad guy. I have a negative attitude. That's just the way I go. What I've never really done is approach that and try to change that. That's what I am trying to work on. I want to be a happier person. I want to have a positive outlook. I want to, that's the way I want to lean. That's what I'm working on, is being a happier, better me.
What happened 3 months ago?
I think it was just like sitting in my house all alone and being like, I hope that I come out of all this shit that's going on evolved. Really?
Sorry. Mark it. Oh, you know what? I got to ask you something.
What?
Something just happened to me that I also come into awareness with. I do jokes. And
debatable.
Sometimes there's something under it. Like I said, I'm just trying to survive and get people to make me feel safe, washing hands, whatever the thing might be.
Sure.
And then sometimes it's just my comedy instincts that I don't understand that well. It's just, this is the brand.
Instincts.
The instincts. And during this podcast, the balance that I'm trying to find is being present and making my guest literally hosting you.
Mm-hmm.
While also I live edit. I'm thinking of jokes I want to do in post. Oh, I should have done this. I could have done this. I'm glad I did this, right? It's happening during this. I'm directing myself in this. And
it's beautiful to watch, by the way.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but like the character I played earlier, I'm going to say thanks.
You got it.
But what happens is sometimes I think it's good. It's great. But there's a risk factor to it. And the risk is
either it's not funny, which is fine. I either edit it out or find a way of making it work. Or it works and great. But the risk is if I do a bit that the other person either doesn't understand or doesn't appreciate, it messes up the flow.
Sure.
And that's on me. And I realize I just did it. We're talking, we just had a conversation about, wait, do you want to get real? We referenced all the literally shitting on, and then we get into it, and I'm interested, and I still am.
Sure.
But my instincts were, we're getting real, just for, even if it's not me, just the goblin comes while you're, like, I'm just depressed, and it's like, I want to, goblin shits on you.
That's just funny to me.
I would prefer that. I would like this podcast to be funny.
Well, I think this is great, but I've been microdosing. But what just happened was I had him shit on you while you were being vulnerable and telling me something that is new to you, and I'm sorry if I made you feel that wasn't important. Did that come across that way?
As long as you are okay with the repercussions of I watch this back, I see myself being vulnerable, you have the goblin shit on me, and then you undo everything I've been working on for the past 3 months, then that's cool. But just be ready, because like I said earlier, every decision you make, you may not know it, but there could be some...
Do you want me to not have the goblin shit on you? Do you want me to be pissed or something?
I already did. It already shit on me.
Well, I still have to send it.
I'm literally talking with shit and diarrhea all over me.
You're costing me more money now.
Well, that's on you. You pay the cost to be the boss.
Okay.
What you wearing? Okay.
Tommy Hilfiger all night.
And we love that about you.
Thank you. What I said though, will you help me out? Did that make sense? Like, do you understand why I did that, and do you feel that got in your way a little bit?
The diarrhea.
Yeah. Could we still talk about this stuff?
I feel like the moment is dead at this point. Yeah. No.
All right. What do you guys think?
Can we take a poll from the audience?
It's dead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry if I stepped on a vulnerable moment there.
No, I don't think you did. This is stuff I pay my therapist to talk about. So
we don't have to talk too much about it. Then.
Plus, it's people are listening.
What's that?
Yeah, this isn't just for us.
Yeah.
We do have to be aware of the audience.
The only thing that I could do, like I said, I want to make this podcast sustainable, and the biggest part of that is, am I still wanting to do it? Am I interested? And I don't know what people want to hear, and you build your audience as you do, but I know that I am happy with the podcast when I am wanting to be doing it. And these questions I have for you, and these things we're talking about, I'm interested in and I care about. But if I don't know how things go, I'm not worried about it though.
Well, that's good.
I have found that people like this podcast.
Do they?
Yeah.
Good.
And people like when there's Kyle, incidentally, I'm not just pulling Newacheck up because of the Workaholics connection, but it was a recent episode where it came up. He was recently diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Yeah. I don't know if he told you guys that.
Was it bipolar? I don't think it was bipolar.
What was it? Well, I don't mean to diagnose him, so you have to listen to it. I thought it was.
No, it was. He had told me about it, but it wasn't bipolar.
Whatever it was, he spoke about it on the podcast,
sure,
and said a similar thing to what you were saying. But I got about like people are listening, blah 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 blah, and got so many messages about liking him talking about it because it's something they were thinking about, something like going to I don't know about get diagnosed, but the therapy on it, or something they're living with, or I don't know. So I just think that when people, look at you as, go ahead.
I mean, I hear you. I think people are very interested in like mental health and all that stuff. I think it's cool. I don't necessarily go to my podcast for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know if I clock into Shoes Off Pod for that. Maybe you're finding that that's what your audience does. I think if like
I'm not seeking it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very organic. I just buzzed somebody and I think it's a delivery or something. If you see somebody,
it is huge box.
You saying it's like a fat ass woman?
Yeah, she's got a huge box, dude.
There's just an organic that's interesting to me where you are kind of connecting a depression or sadness to not choosing roles, and the inverse would be Adam, who comes across as the happiest guy in the world, and then saying yes to everything. So I kind of just want to like get the data to have that conversation.
I like sadness and depression. I find like the humanistic. I've never been too attracted to the happy-go-lucky person. To me, that's not real. That's not the human experience. At least for me, the roles that intrigue me or the things I like to watch are complex people who are struggling. That's life. That's what makes it beautiful. I don't know. We like the Joker movie because the Joker is the ultimate fucked up in the head guy.
Yeah, but I liked Batman Begins also.
I love Mr. Freeze. I think Arnold played it geniusly.
You mean that too, right? Because I do, and people make fun. I really think it's brilliant.
Dude, come on. I think Mr. Freeze is incredible. I think Arnold knocked it out of the park. I love the look of I had a poster on my wall.
Same. I also my brother got mad at me. He still talks about it. I go to sleep at track number 4 on the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Is that Smashing Pumpkins?
Kiss from a Rose. On repeat. I would go on repeat. So like we go to sleep and wake up to it.
Seal.
Yeah.
That's dope.
People make fun of him because it's so campy, but that's the tone of that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's phenomenal. I love it.
Could you do any impressions of him?
Of Arnold?
Yeah.
Everybody chill.
That's good.
Cool party. The Ice Age is coming.
Speaking of Ice Age, before I forget, I want to make sure I get
Mike
to this.
Jones.
Oh, right. I don't even know who that is. I just remember that was always in songs that I would download.
Oh, well, his record label was Ice Age Entertainment.
It would always be Mike Jones. Right. And then also, wasn't there something where people would talk?
That's called, Chopped and Screwed.
And that's Mike Jones.
That's DJ Screwed, but they are all a product of, like, Houston hip-hop.
You know hip-hop. That's kind of your genre.
I love music. Hip-hop, I love hip-hop. Mm-hmm. Is that where you were going with Ice Age, or did you want to talk about how I was a voice in the Blue Sky production? Is that what they were? It just got shut down.
What is it?
Who made Ice Age? What?
Oh, no. I got back into... I've always loved Magic, but I bought my first card a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I'm buying more for my collection.
This is what I'm here for. See, you're here to talk about all the fucking...
We talked about Bam Bath for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And put it in fast forward at 75%, so it's, 3.5.
Yeah, let's get past that stuff.
It's not an Ice Age set, but I bought a card and it's sealed, and I thought I would want to open it because I'm excited about getting back in Magic. You're a Magic player.
Yes. Magic the Gathering. Huge fan. Hello. What do you got,
baby? I have
baby?
A couple of packages. Do you want to open one, or should I just open it?
Let's see it. So what's the deal? This is an eBay purchase, Etsy.
I bought PCWW. It's an auction house.
Yes, sir.
You know them?
No.
They do collectibles. It's mostly like sports cards, Pokemon cards, Magic cards.
Boom.
So I bought this from. I think this is that from there. I bought from a few places. It's a couple of stores. I'm also in these. I wasn't really I haven't used Facebook for real in over a decade.
Me neither.
But there's these chat rooms that have all of the serious Magic collectors are in there, thousands of people.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something, you have to wait for it to be on eBay if people even want to sell it. This is hey guys, I'm looking for a Beta Shivan Dragon 9.5 or greater.
Oh, getting my DD hard.
So these are the people. So I've been buying from there. Incidentally, and I talked about this, I think, on Eric Griffin's podcast, but he didn't record.
Who's that?
Montez from Workaholics.
Oh, yeah. He was funny.
He's done, he has a podcast, Riffin' with Griffin. I've done it 4 times. The past 2.
Riffin' with Griffin. That's good.
Do you really not know it? You should do it. He's great.
Oh, I have.
He, the past 2 podcasts I've done have been digital for him, and he had technical difficulties and didn't air them. So now we're about to do another
Montez.
one. It's very Montez. And he was like, don't get mad at me. I have to come over, sit on your balcony. It's like, well, first of all, you don't have to. It's like, well, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying that, like, do it.
You guys are probably a really funny pair.
But do you think so? I think we're great together.
Yeah.
It's he's a fan favorite on the show.
Oh, of course. What's not to love about EG?
I guess his negativity, his aggression,
really?
His judgment.
I feel like Eric is He probably is really sad inside.
I think that he's grown a whole bunch recently.
Really?
I think he's come into a lot of awareness.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
No. He's actually. I mean, according to comments, Eric looking good. So.
Well, I do. Sometimes I clock in on his like live cooking show. I'm a fan.
Huh?
I could watch Eric do anything.
You strike me as somebody who's legitimately a fan of people. Like you watch people's stuff. It seems like I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe you've told me that.
I do.
Didn't you say you watched Undateable?
Yes.
I don't have a friend, including the ones that wrote on the show, that watched Undateable.
Oh, I mean, there were so many people I knew on the show. I had to.
That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I like to, and I don't like hate watch stuff. I do. No, I don't really hate watch stuff.
What's a hate watch? Like watch something to make fun of?
That's what most people do. That's all people do now. They just watch it to shit on it.
There's a quote by the guy who you're probably friends with. He played music for Pearl Jam, and then he did the other one.
What?
Dave Grohl.
He did not play for Pearl Jam.
The one with the guy Sublime.
Sublime.
No, the guy Nirvana with the
Okay,
dick.
come on.
The baby with the dick.
That's what you take away from Nirvana is baby dick?
I don't.
That speaks more to you, my friend, than the music. You can't snap your way out of this, brother.
Okay.
You're going to snap
Give him
your
a
way
baby dick.
right into prison.
Speaking of baby dicks, very excited to reveal my first buy, a beta graded 9.5 Twiddle.
You got Twiddle? Is that the one where, like, no, that's Counterspell. What is the art on that?
It's,
How much mana? One blue mana. It's like a little mountain island. Oh, God, I love magic. I love magic cards. Oh, yeah.
Crazy art. Could be like a Pink Floyd album cover.
I was thinking more Nirvana.
No, not enough baby dicks. You know, since that's all we took away from the band Nirvana.
Well, they also sing like, with arms wide open. Or is
like,
that Bradley, what's his name?
Bradley Cooper?
No, Bradley,
fucking...
you know. Or something like
What are you doing?
One of the best bands of the 90s. No, fuck that.
What are you doing?
Other than the Beatles, probably the best band who ever lived.
What are you doing?
They do like
you're being funny.
Sandman.
Sandman?
Yeah.
You're talking about Metallica.
It's all the same. They also have that
It's
song
not.
like Whiskey in the Jarro.
That's also Metallica. You're talking about Metallica. But the way into it was through... How did you get to Metallica?
Californications. I'm talking about Dave Grohl.
That's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You mean the greatest band of all time?
I thought you just said that about Nirvana and the Beatles.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the RHP, they're more like, they're not a band. I guess they're just, you know what they are? Tell me if you disagree with this statement.
I would love to.
They are punk rock, man.
They're not.
Yeah.
No.
Love them.
They're much more rooted in like funk.
Californications, guys. I love them, man. Big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Love Dave Grohl.
The remix, he's not in that band. He's in Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Foo Fighters with Lauryn Hill. So
you can't see now you've kind of revealed that you do sort of know your music.
I know capitals. I just don't know what states they belong to.
Okay.
Tallahassee, Florida.
Yeah.
New York. Columbus, Ohio, Los Angeles or San Diego. No, your home state, your city. California is Sacramento. I was actually going to say something else, I think. But
San Francisco?
San Francisco is like the Cincinnati. I don't know. I'd rather be talking about depression, to be honest, than capitals.
I've never been to Cincinnati. Have you?
I think I've driven through.
Really?
Yeah. I'm from Ohio.
You know what? You are?
Yeah. It's why my arms are so tired.
You're from Ohio?
Yeah. Ask me anything about Ohio.
Okay, name a musician from Ohio.
You're going to say he's not a musician, but you haven't seen, obviously, that show where they improvise, but I'll say Drew Carey.
He's not a musician.
They've played those games on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
He's a game show host.
With arms wide open.
That's Creed, by the way.
Radley Barley. Wayne Brady.
Boo Radley?
Wayne Brady from The Chappelle Show.
That's To Kill a
I'm Wayne Brady,
Mockingbird.
bitch.
Yes, that's Dave Chappelle.
Wayne Brady, bitch.
Rainn Wilson. Are we just
Friends.
saying? What do you just want to go?
Listen, man, I got another magic card.
With arms wide open. Let's slow-mo while you open this and play Creed over it.
What is this? Oh, this isn't a magic card. This is something else I'm very excited about. Check this
Pamela
out.
Anderson.
Signed Kristen Bell, naked kinda. I wonder if it's a real signature.
Kristen Bell, like, isn't from, like, Jumanji? Well, not when she was in Jumanji. Huh?
No, Jumanji, that's the girl that kissed Peter Parker, I think.
Gosh, look at us. We're, like... Can we rewind to the nothing but lose conversation?
Nothing to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Who's that?
This is the girl from Frozen. Smoke show Kristen Bell.
That's Elsa?
It's either Elsa or Alphaba, or Alphaba is Wicked. I don't know all my characters. I think she's from Punk'd.
She's punk rock?
Yeah. Well, she's from the show Punk'd, MTV's Punk'd with Dax Shepard.
Is that
you just got cameraed.
Is she married?
Oh, she's married.
Is she?
To a TYSO, to a TYSO alum.
And TYSO is this podcast?
Take your shoes off, TYSO.
Oh, my God. When did you come up with that?
Calling it TYSO?
Yeah. I know we're on 99.
Yeah.
So, like, what era did TYSO start to creep in? Episode 3.
Give or take.
Or third era, which would be, like, around episode, I'm guessing, 70.
So by third era, you're saying basically a third quarter by saying 70.
Yeah.
Which would be in the 50 to 75 range.
Yeah.
Nope. Episode 3, first quarter.
You started saying TYSO?
I think so. You know, you look for acronyms, YLFAs. And when you find them, you can make something out of it. It's easy branding, EB.
Sure.
S.
I guess.
IG.
To me, it's kind of a...
IKU?
Turn off?
Listen, man. You want to be turned off? Then you could do some acronyms. You
Turn
want to be
me
turned on?
I go to Kristen Bell, sign
Do you think that's a real autograph? I feel like, would she sign this?
I feel like if that came across her desk, she would shred it.
I don't think it would be a mail-in and she mails it back. The way, when you were a kid, did you ever do that? You would, like find online, like, I think I sent something to Arnold Schwarzenegger once. Like
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, before Mr. Freeze. But after the Barbarians, where you would have them sign and send you something.
You sure you don't want one of these?
A tall boy?
A tall girl.
Which reminds me, I have to go to the dentist today because I got a new retainer for my TMJ.
Now
but
we're
I guess
talking.
I could crack one and have a sip just for what's it called when, like, you do it for
camaraderie?
Okay, that's not what I was thinking, but more about inclusion.
Thanksgiving.
Yes. I don't want one. Should I have one?
No, I don't want to pressure you.
It's more like I would have to wash it with soap and water before I opened it, and it's big to do.
Really?
I wash my yeah. They're disgusting. The tops of cans?
No, dude. That's what's so cool about these 3-packs
But
of
it's not
tall girls.
It's not just from the transport. It's also in the factories and everything while it's being.
Oh, brother, come on.
Handled.
Everything's disgusting. Why are you choosing that? That's your hill you're gonna die on, or do you wipe down everything? Are you a germaphobe? I mean, now it's okay to be that with coronavirus, but before that, you were kind of.
Do you have that sound that on a soundboard, coronavirus like that?
I haven't gone into that yet.
Would you voice it yourself?
That I feel like it's one I can do.
Do you want me to send you this so you could use it on your podcast?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Here's what I would like. I'm gonna send you that. Are you happy with that? Or do you want to do another take?
Coronavirus.
And then if there's any other ones you think you might use, I'll send you the waves.
Oh boy, that's gonna leave a mark.
Take your shoes. Watch. Take your shoes off. Podcast.
Got to be shorter.
TYSO.
I don't.
Will you find a time to use that? I'll send you that.
TYSO.
Yeah. And see if anybody brings it up. And if not, it would be just a great little mention.
Yeah, I don't know. TYSO.
So you have a clothing brand, Bored Teenager.
Teenage.
It's called Teenage?
Yes.
Bored Teenage or Teenage?
Teenage.
And
the website is boredteenager.com.
Teenage and it's a clothing brand that you started.
Yes, sir.
And this is this, do you consider this, is this like a side hustle? Is this a brand that you're trying to build into something? Have you built it to something that you're happy with yet? Because it seems successful.
Yeah, it's successful to, yeah, it's kind of, it always has been sort of a side project. It's just, it's a cool creative outlet.
Do you have like
inventory
at your house? Do you have people working for you?
I mean, when we started like ground up, I was everything. Yeah, I was storing it at my home. I was mailing it out, all of that stuff. But now, no, we have like a shipping warehouse and all that.
Do you have any advice for somebody who's, I'm still direct to garment? I've recently my merchandise sales have been doing well enough to where I'm considering like getting inventory and not doing the direct to garment approach anymore, so it doesn't smell like paint. But you wash in cold water, it'll be fine.
And to be fair, I don't even notice it anymore. The smell of paint.
It goes away. Also, if it's been outside, I just open the bag right before. But if you smell it, you'll smell a little paint. But do you have any advice to me, but also to people at home listening who want to start a brand, of what it takes to start a brand? I mean, there's the designing and there's the business side of it. Where do you thrive?
Probably the designing aspect of it, but it definitely takes risk, startup cash for sure.
What kind of cake did you put into it?
Not too much. I made everything back. I never lost.
What's is the initial investment the design, or is it the inventory?
Nah, if you have like an artist homie, you can get a design done for, relatively reasonable price. But as you know, with like production and garments, maybe you don't know this, but the more you're a smart guy. We just play idiots, right? But the more garments you buy, the lower the prices, So but the last thing you would want is to be sitting on boxes and boxes of merch, because if you don't sell it, then you're not making anything back.
As Dave Grohl says, one of my favorite shows is Shark Tank, and though I went to business school, I am constantly reinforced that one of the deaths of retail is inventory, and that's why you want to minimize as many SKUs as possible. But when you have shirts, one shirt has at least 5 SKUs because of sizes. So where do you decide these are our top sellers, or have you decided to put in enough capital to where you have a lot of different things in different sizes?
The brand got successful enough to where the store Zoomies, started to produce our stuff. So they kind of are the ones that do all the sizing and SKUs and stuff like that. So that's not something I really have to wrap my head around anymore. But with exclusive drops that we just do for the website, the sizes they sell out.
Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, so you could
don't.
say I don't.
Okay.
Unless you want, I'll let you decide. Would you like to be put on the spot? Here's what I would do.
Yeah.
You said it's not something you could wrap your head around. However, if I pulled up a beat, I wonder if you could try and find a way to wrap your head around it by talking about your shirts and your brand and the art and the style.
Yeah.
No?
I guess I got to hear the beat if the beat's fire.
Right. You know what's a bummer? I rap kind of frequently or do spoken word on this podcast.
You do?
Yeah, and I'm very, very good.
Okay.
And people have sent in samples, stuff that they've taken from this podcast, stuff from the theme song, and then just original stuff. And I love them. I haven't archived them yet, so I'm just going to Google, YouTube royalty-free beats.
So you tell your users to send you beats?
I've never told them to, although here I am. I'm telling you now to send beats, original beats to take your shoes off podcast@gmail.com.
TYSO.
But I want to.
TYSO.
I want to be able to use them, but now I'm just using royalty-free ones.
If I had the board, I'd be like TYSO.
Every time you push the tabletop, we'll put it in.
Yeah.
Use that TYSO. Any of them.
So you're asking your listeners to send in beats and farts.
Yeah. And also send in
nudes.
Yeah, send in any nudes of Kristen Bell you could find.
Sick, brother.
Daniel, you got me on my insurance. Daniel, State Farm offers surprisingly great rates.
Oh. All right. Hey, I got a question for you, Blake. Blake?
That's my name.
Blake, I'm new into the merchandise game, and I like to think of my merchandise, and I want to build it this way, not just merchandise for Take Your Shoes Off podcast, but cool swag that people would want to wear even if they didn't know what it was, right?
Yes.
You have a successful brand called Teenage.
Yes, sir.
And I guess if I'm having trouble kind of wrapping my head around what it is, could you maybe help me out? 2, 3.
Yeah. First off, you gotta get an artist, get them to draw something that.
You could have said that farted.
Farted. I was gonna say farted. I didn't want to go down. TYSO.
Dude.
I find that medium is the most popular size. Maybe do something with French fries because people like the fast food life, not me, you know. I don't ever want to ever do this at all.
Okay.
You can spit some fire. TYSO.
Yeah, they call me captain of the ship cause I steer. I got the blue, I got the pink, I got the hottest gear. We talking merchandise swag, sweaties in enough, but you put it on the top and you touching on that stuff.
Okay.
Grab my dick, get some shorts, get some sweatpants, some socks, some cozies, some mugs, some dope hats. Now we talking about shipping problems. $29.95 for shipping, man.
Goblins.
Yeah, thanks,
TYSO.
man. Whew. Man,
Dang.
my adrenaline's going. I kind of want to like get into it now, but
Yeah, you are nice.
thanks, man.
That's that's wild.
But I can't say all jokes aside because a lot of it is jokes.
Yeah,
So,
well,
like-
not that one part that we did.
Yeah, but for this
The
topic,
part everybody's like,
what was that? Was that like saying?
yeah, I'm gonna jerk off during this part. I'm not listening anymore.
Okay. Anyway, thanks, man. Well, how you feel? I think this was good.
I'm guessing it probably won't air again.
Is this the? It won't air again. What do you mean? Like it's on live and then they're not gonna syndicate it?
like how you did me last time.
Oh, you think this podcast isn't coming out?
No.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not.
This was.
This is a tech rehearsal.
It was it.
Right?
What do you guys think? Guys?
Okay.
I will
crickets.
I will look up TYSO. I will look up to see if I could find that podcast of us talking for 20 minutes.
Maybe just
and
find
then playing Magic for an hour.
Yeah, maybe just if there was any sort of like highlight.
My girlfriend.
Is it Betty?
Yeah.
It's like, where are you?
I might put up, I guess, a highlight. I don't know. I mean, there isn't a highlight. That's why I didn't post it.
There's nothing?
That was the only episode of that podcast, the first episode that I did, which some of them are on my Patreon. That's why I suggested it, where it's always just John and me. So imagine if you guys are doing your pod. There's a very different dynamic.
You trimmed the fat on it.
It was just a pod. It was just playing Magic.
He was the anchor.
Watch this. I've learned this from watching how NBA players talk at the end of a game. You know, it's my responsibility as the producer and host of that show to make sure that there's a flow to it, and I kind of dropped the ball on that. And I know that this is one of the operational costs of creating something, and I take it as a win because I learned on the necessity. It's part of the reason I got cameras for this. So yeah, it was definitely a win. It just wasn't a product that I wanted to put out. You know, Michael Jordan missed 57 shots and lost 8 buzzer beaters and got a stomach ache after he ate that pizza. But that's why he wins.
I've heard you reference this Michael Jordan guy a couple times. Who?
He was first in that show. Actually, with I'm on a new show for Amazon with Jason Katims called On the Spectrum. We start filming next month.
Congrats.
And thank you. But Jason Katims also created a show called Friday Night Lights, and that's where Michael Jordan's from.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes. Can I open another card?
Absolutely. That's why I thought we were just going to talk about Magic. Then you started psychoanalyze.
Yeah, well,
thank God
Ice
I
Age.
brought a tall girl.
Careful, you can't say tie anymore. So here's something I bought. Now, this is I haven't opened it yet, as you can see. I know what it is. It's very nostalgic to me.
Okay.
I learned Magic around 97, 98.
And we're talking Magic the Gathering.
Yes. Oh, no offense. Yeah, Magic the Gathering.
You're not a magician. Holy shit. Okay, now what's in the box? What's in the box?
I was about to say a bad Brad Pitt impression. Or is that Edward Norton?
I think that was a good Brad Pitt.
But the first what's in the box, not the second one.
Oh. Huh?
You said what's in the box. What's in the box?
Yeah.
I'm saying the first what's in the box.
Was good Brad Pitt?
Was bad Brad Pitt.
Oh, the second
It's like if I were to say to you, oh, you're not entertained? And then you realize, oh, Russell Crowe, the first version would be the bad one.
Right.
Yeah, like if you were to say to somebody, I'm walking here, you'd be like, that's a bad Christopher Walken impression.
It's not who said that. It was Bernie Sanders.
Can't say that anymore.
Why?
He lost.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Did he, though?
He lost the election,
Oh.
but he won a new generation of people who finally give a fuck about science.
Hey, thank you.
I bought a sealed booster box.
Oh, God damn. How much? I mean, we could talk off pod how much you spent on that. What?
You almost said Mike Pence. Mike Spence on that.
Well, we're talking politics. I got to talk about my guy, Big Mike.
B. Jordan?
Mike B. Pence.
Look at this. A sealed box of so I learned on 4th edition. So even though 4th edition isn't the I mean, I guess at this point it's still pretty rare.
What's that card? Is like gypsies or
can't say that.
Arabian.
There are so many Magic cards that have been banned now.
For racist.
But racist where like I have to look up what's racist about it. You know? There's a goblin card from Arabian Nights. And it's like, it's 2 goblins that are throwing stones. We'll put the card up. I don't remember what it was. But there was talk, and maybe it's warranted. I don't know. You know, like I'm just a guy from Queens. But
I thought you're from Ohio.
Or you're not allowed to even say Queens anymore. I don't know what people want to.
King of Queens.
But a bad Christopher Walken.
That's Kevin James. Respect, bro.
But it was 2 goblins, and I think there was something where it was apparently depicting indigenous people and they weren't goblins, and it was just like people. So anyway, it got to the point to where, you know what PSA is? Professional Sports Authenticators.
Oh.
People get their cards graded both on their sports memorabilia. You could send it into different places. PSA and Beckett are the biggest 2. CGC is really big for comic books.
TYSO.
But they say, is it authentic and what condition is it in? It makes it a lot easier. Like if I'm selling to you online, you can't look at it up close. So we have somebody who's professionally, that has name brand recognition. Okay. You could trust it. PSA says it's a 9.9, right?
Okay.
So PSA has stopped grading certain cards that happened last year. Like there's this new ban list on cards because of the artwork.
Really?
So if you have a great condition stone goblins or whatever the card is from, and now I'm like, are you not allowed to say stone goblins? I think it was just the artwork.
Sure.
But you can't get it graded. So it kind of affects the market. And incidentally, that card now has skyrocketed in value.
Of course.
There's another one that the picture looks like it's a clan member or something. And I don't know if I would have noticed it, and maybe I would have thought it was a ghoul. But now it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of like a clan member. We can't use that card anymore. Quadrupled in value.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, in a way, it's kind of like in the drug industry when people are like saying banning marijuana, you're actually now opening it to the criminals and the people who...
Because the value is going to go up.
But if they could regulate it, not only would it be safer, they make that money on tax. You ever go to a weed store? I'm paying 25% on tax alone. I'm like, what am I? Chopped liver? Or what's it? The Nirvana.
Laissez-faire.
Yeah. So here's this. Now check this out. I've been excited to see, because I got the case for this before I got the box.
This is the show. This is the show. What do we got?
I'm really excited to see
Are you?
this out.
Okay. What do we got?
So there's this company, and I think it's called Card Graders. I'll put it up on the screen. I'm not sure. But I don't know if he manufactures these, because these are the only place to find it. And if you go in any of these Magic chat rooms, they like, you got to get these acrylic cases. And this is like the only place to buy it. They're sized out.
Beautiful. Look at you. You're a really good collector.
I've been since I've been a kid.
You kind of went above and beyond.
Bad Tim Allen impression from Toy Story. Is that Tim Allen?
Yeah. Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I always like my action figures. I had some that I played with, but I also had some that I like mounted on the wall. You know, I put the pin through the hole. Go ahead.
Like, were you a fun kid, or were you like a little like young adult dude?
Oh, like a young Sheldon or something?
Yeah.
No, I was not that. I was very hyper, fun, loved to play. Like I would have friends come over. I remember, shout out to Justin Lazarick.
Yeah, for sure.
We played Magic together, but also he lived, you know, as far away as you can, where when you're 10 years old, you could walk there by yourself.
Oh,
it felt like a long time, but when I'm home now, it's like Justin's house is right over there.
Yeah. Well, the bike ride or the rollerblades.
Yeah, this would be a walk or a bike ride. A rollerblade, by the time you laced them up, it's kind of like flying somewhere that's 3 hours away. By the time you get to the airport,
the hubbaloo.
Yeah, the hubbaloo. We can't say that.
Yeah.
So
as soon as I said it, I'm like, ugh.
He would come over and we would play Turtles. all the time.
Ninja Turtles.
Yes. There was also some Terminator and X-Men action figures, but it was Turtles, and these people kind of came into their universe.
What do you mean by these people?
The X-Men and the Terminators.
Okay.
Mr. Freeze, before he was Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
And I remember he used to come over, and what I loved about the Terminator action figures that Turtles didn't do is...
The dicks.
Kinda. Yeah. You could do a full split, a 180 split, which allowed you to hold their head and do 360 kicks like this, where the Turtles, they weren't as flexible.
Or to spin on the Turtles' cock.
Yeah. But, you know, it was a different time. Justin used to come over.
It can still be that time.
And there was a time that he told me that, I'm sorry, Justin, if I can't reveal this. Maybe I'll ask you, and you'll let me know if I have to bleep your first or last name. But his parents said that, or his mom, I think it was, she didn't want him.
Justin?
He couldn't come over playing Turtles anymore.
Yeah.
And it was either because we were too old, and like she didn't want Justin to play Turtles anymore because, Justin, you need to grow out of this, and Rick is a bad influence. He's keeping you into playing with Turtles. Or he was just, blaming it on his mom, and he just didn't want to play with me anymore. Either could be true. I'm gonna reach out to him before this comes out, and I'll ask, and I'll put here the reason.
Why didn't your mom want?
Or why didn't you, and did you blame it on your mom? Because that happened to me as a kid, where people used to say, I can't. My mom said I can't or whatever. And looking back, I realized, they just didn't want to play with me.
Right.
I
can see that. I can totally see that for you.
I'm a crypto investor. I'm an action figure investor. I'm a comic collector.
Really?
When I say this, by the way, this was like as a kid, so I'm not hoarding millions of dollars worth of stuff. I've sold most of it, but that's how I paid my bills for a while. Like I would buy and sell cards and stuff.
That's wild, dude. I collect comics, but I open them and look at them.
Yeah?
I have to do it for my own enjoyment.
But that's what I'm saying. I get enjoyment from that.
Do you? That
100%.
That sounds...
I'm not lying to you.
Opening it would be...
Yeah, this not so much I want to open. I have something that I do want to open, but part of that feeling of wanting to open it is why they're so rare sealed. And there is, remember we were talking about how could you forget? When you're acting, there's multiple parts of the intention behind it. There's the money, there's the art, there's the wanting happiness, there's fame, there's working with people there's all these different facets. When collecting, there's two ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. There's investor and there's collector. And you have store owners who are pretty much investors with a little taste of collecting. And then you have collectors that Mark Cuban would be a collector. He doesn't mind paying a premium because he believes in the product.
Look at you.
Right? So there's a fine balance. I don't know where I stand. I think it depends. With this product, it's more a collector. There are things as an investor. Because like I said, I was paying bills from this stuff.
Sure.
So growing up as a kid, collecting stuff that went nowhere and collecting stuff that I'm glad I collected, it helped me pay my rent. I have this built-in thing where I like looking at the sealed thing. It's like...
It's your kink.
Yeah, it's my collector's kink.
Yeah.
Which is alliteration because of the sound. Is alliteration the letter or the sound?
I don't know.
Well, there's no way to find out.
There isn't. You have a beautiful mind.
Tom Arnold.
That's right.
Were you being sarcastic or is that okay? Because the last 10 minutes of magic talk, was this too much?
Not for me.
It was at the end, so people could.
Hey, everybody, was it too much?
TYSO. Anyway, so I got a twiddle, but I think my favorite thing in order is this magic box.
Well, I'd hope so. You spent enough.
Yeah.
The Kirsten Dunst.
No, Kristen Bell.
Same thing.
What a weird thing to imagine having a picture, like a sexy picture of somebody, and then saying, "Will you?"
Sign
this?
I don't. There's also those dudes who get you to sign a blank paper and then they transfer it somehow.
I learned at the very beginning you don't do that. You never sign something that's blank. Do you sign blank stuff?
I have.
You're not supposed to because they could put anything on it. And then it could be a picture of, something horrible, and you're like, "Haha, you're the best," blank.
Right. Well, I trust people. Maybe I should stop.
Yeah, I learned almost days before I ever was asked to sign a picture.
Right.
Was from Undateable. So right before Undateable started, coincidentally, somebody had told me I was with somebody who had signed something, and she refused. "I'm sorry, I don't sign blank things." And I thought I knew why, but I asked, and she explained, they could put anything on it. And she had experienced that before. So I go, and then maybe a week, if that goes by, I'm getting off in an airport, and there's all these people, or these people with they have too many. They're on the investor side, not the collector side. They have you
Sure.
sign like 8 things.
Yeah.
And there was one of them was blank, and I go, sorry, I don't. And I felt like, look at me, I'm not green.
Right, and they're like, dude.
And they go, okay, and then they pulled out just one of.
Well, that must have felt good.
I felt like I'm glad, and and just.
Well, but now you're the guy who buys the perverted pic.
This isn't perverted. A woman's a human body is, and a woman's body is beautiful, and this is art. And Kristen frickin' Bell, man, she's a stud.
That's somebody's wife. That's someone's mother.
But at the time, I don't know if she was married and she didn't have a kid. I know that.
Yeah. Well, when she signed that blank thing, and then they.
But it might not be blank. Also, I wonder if it's even a real signature. I bet you it's a real signature that's printed on. I bet they took her signature because it doesn't.
So
look.
then why even worry about signing a blank thing if people can just?
Because then you could look at it and be like, that's not real.
So you need to get that appraised.
What I might do is, if I ever have the opportunity, I might try and get her to actually sign this.
Okay.
Or sign off.
You don't think she'll be like, I obviously already signed it.
Well, if that's the case, then now case closed. We know you did sign it.
Yeah.
I want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I don't. Does she not have bottoms either?
Naked.
Butt naked. Is she on a surfboard?
Sia.
Huh?
Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella. Ella, Ella, under my umbrella. Ella, Ella,
Tupac?
Yeah. Wow. Dude, you know your shit.
Thanks. Surfboard, Sia. She is on a beach. But which reminds me, we actually got to get a surfboard video of you. We'll take care of that in a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Blake, do you have anything that you want to, that's putting you on the spot to feel like you have to? So instead of giving you the choice, please, what's your Instagram?
I think it's Blake Anderson.
Because of your name.
Yeah.
And is there a website where people could find your gear?
BoredTeenager.com.
Could you show us what it looks like?
Yeah, check it out. You scroll through here. We have all sorts of color variations to our T-shirts and
I got this new effect.
Sizes.
And I don't know if this is going to work well, so if not, I'll just put in like a still or something. But I want to see if this works.
Whoa.
Yeah, that looked real. This was good, man. I mean, I would say if I had to use one word to describe this episode, I would say great episode.
Twiddle.
Yeah.
That's sick.
All right. Well, I guess we like to end this podcast where we end all podcasts, where we start the theme song, and before it hits the oh yeah, you have to finish chugging your brew.
Oh, there's way too much beer
Chug.
left.
Chug.
No.
Chug. Okay.
I'm beyond that.
Blake, thanks for coming over, man.
Thanks. And, everybody listen to This Is Important podcast on iHeartRadio.
Do you guys consider doing video, or would it be too tough because everyone's separate?
They want to do it. I would love to do an in-studio, us-together video. I don't really see the point to doing Zoom video, but I could be convinced.
Right. Is that a tall girl? A girl who has such a little torso that her nipples are right by her vagina?
No.
Or maybe you're playing with those dimple earrings. Anyway, that's, what is it, Blake Anderson? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, man.
Check out, season 2 starts filming soon. I don't know when it comes out, but check out Woke. I didn't even tell you this. Great show.
Thank you.
Watch it all.
Thank you.
And it's like, I guess we talked enough about it, but it is cool to see comedian friends do stuff like that, because it's almost like crossing over, even though it's still, I guess it's marketed as a comedy, right?
Yeah.
But the subject matter it's a serious, there's real story to it.
Sure.
And it's serious. And I know we're ending, but I guess we're ending on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to get opportunities to do that.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate to be a part of such a cool project.
So make sure you check that out. And also make sure you check out This Is Important podcast at www.tip.com. That's tip.com. My name's Rick Glassman. And as always, say hello to your mother.
Really?
Or say it to your mom for me. I'm trying out different outs.
Really?
Yeah, that was, I think that's Andy Samberg doing Mark Wahlberg.
Wow. I see it now.
And now we're just talking, they're not going to see it. Nirvana. And now it's like, right. Oh. Yeah. Snap, crackle. I guess Pop, come on in. Yeah. Go on the balcony. Yeah. Grab his tits. Yeah. Love it. Thanks for coming in, Blake. Okay. Sorry you're depressed. Check out our episode next week when it's our special 100th episode live with Kristen Bell. All right.
Scoop doo, blabbity blue.